emotional baggage is what is holding you back in your life right now. Maybe not the only thing, but it's definitely a big thing that is affecting all of your relationships and your friendships, maybe even affecting you in school and in the workplace and stuff. And what I mean by that is the difference between responding and reacting, because they sound very similar until you really educate yourself on them. Because you can respond to a situation and someone can say a response is reaction, but the real difference is a reaction comes with emotional baggage, right? A reaction doesn't look only based on what's ethical or what's going on. A reaction is because of a similar situation, or maybe not in a similar situation, but just because of something that happened in the past, right? Whereas a response is, this is the situation at hand, this is what I should do, that is what I'll do, right? For example, you're approaching a doorway in public and someone is a few steps behind you, maybe 5, 6 steps behind you, but their hands seem to be kind of full. They're holding a coffee. Maybe they have multiple coffees. They're walking kind of like this. They're going to try to use their shoulder or their elbow here to bump into the automatic door open, right? A response would be like, this person is probably going to need some assistance. Let me hold the door, even if it like cost me 30 seconds, right? No problem. But a reaction is going to be like, I've had bad blood with this person before. Maybe my friend has bad blood with this person. I'm not a big fan of this person. I'm not going to hold the door for them. Or, last time I needed the door held for me, nobody held the door for me. So why should I hold the door for this person? Those are both reactions. But if you just think about it for a moment, what does any of those reactional situations have to do with the present right now? What does the last time you needed a door held for you, nobody held it? What does that have to do with that person behind needing the door held for them? Absolutely nothing. You are bringing that into the present. You are bringing your past into the present and destroying your future. You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that, and you shouldn't do that, right? Think about it like this. How about this? What if the person that needs help holding the door for them is your grandmother? You think your grandmother went 60, 70, 80, 90 years without pissing somebody off once in her life? She definitely has. She's definitely done somebody wrong in her life, right? But you would want every single person on this earth to open the door for her, right? So now you're not being fair. So because of your emotions again. That's my grandmother. Of course, I want someone to hold the door for her. I love her, this and that. Because of your emotions again, right? You need to be responsive, not reactive. How about this? How about if you really think about the happiest days of your life and they're all in your childhood? Does it maybe pair with the fact that during your childhood you obliviously loved everyone, helped everyone, tried to be friends with everyone, reached out everywhere and did and everything? How magnetic you were as a child, how people gravitated towards you, how you had so many more friends, so many more opportunities, so many more things to do, so many things to look forward to, you know, because you weren't stuck up yet based on past experiences, because you didn't have the past experiences to be bothering you yet, right? And everything just flipped over. Like you just looked, man, whatever, I want to go have fun today. I want to be with my friends today, whatever. And then you started letting, life kick your ass and just agreeing with it, maybe things aren't meant to be sweet after all. Maybe happy ever ending or happy ever after endings are only in movies or whatever, right? You start to let the negativity control you. Now think about how you feel when someone goes out of their way to do something nice for you. Out of nowhere, completely catches you off guard. You don't even expect it anymore because your expectations are down here. They're so low. But side note, if you did nice things for people, your expectations would be a little higher. But anyway, you don't yet. You don't yet. When someone does something nice for you out of nowhere and you're shook, that already says something about you and the world and whatever. But it starts a positive train because now you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. So now you're going to go do good, make somebody else feel good. And then boom. The other day at work, I told myself I'm gonna say, hey, how are you, or have a great day to every single person that I see on their way in or out. I don't care who responds. I don't care if they make a face. I don't care nothing. I'm just gonna do it. Probably said, hey, how are you, or have a great day to about 500 people. I think only 20 responded, and then probably their 5 or 6 made a face, But I felt great. The 20 people that responded felt great, and they made me feel great back. And I just felt good just seeing like how somebody went from such a straight face, a miserable face, to a smile. And it took me what, 1 second, 3 words, no thoughts, no money, no nothing, just to positively impact someone's day. It's crazy. Ask yourself, this is what I think the most important thing is. Would you want to be around someone on a daily basis or multiple times per week basis that holds on to negativity as if it pays them? They always have the negative answer. They're always thinking the negative. They're always looking at the downside of things. There's no point in doing that because this, you know? What's the point? We're gonna die. You know? What are you talking about? Would you want to be around someone like that? Take 10 seconds, think about it. And when you realize the answer is no, then stop being someone like that. Why are you being that person if you don't even want to be around that person? I don't care. No one cares about all the experiences that you go through if it's just going to make you that negative person. I'm not the only person that experiences things. You're not, he's not, she's not. You know, be kind, be interested, be happy. It's a choice. It's a choice. Live in the moment and enjoy the gift of today. That's why they call it present. I love you. Take care.